beyond Nodwin in a bit, but I do have a question. 2.5 years of Nodwin, just the initial phase. Did you ever feel like giving up? Did your body break down? Did you just land up in situations which you never thought because of overwork? What was like a regular day? I mean, what was the toughest time of that 2.5 years?
When our initial team left. Because it was time for them to go for higher education.
Okay.
So you have to understand, Nodwin was built, because the costs are very important, was built with phenomenal young people. Besides me, there was nobody who was a postgraduate. Because I honestly believe young people do a great job of thinking. And I think the older they go, the bigger the blinkers keep on becoming. But the problem with young people is, if they're graduates, they'll work for a year, maybe a year and a half, 2, and then they want to do an MBA. Right? Or
so the transition happened. And by that time, you'd already grown to a certain extent. So
and I lost 4 people at once. And 4 out of 5 is a tough thing to lose.
And at that stage, did you feel like giving up, or were you in a state?
No, I didn't want to give up, but I was extremely frustrated. I was like, this sucks and I needed counseling. I needed someone to go and come in and saying, but what they're doing is right. It might not be right to me, but they're doing right for their lives. It's the right thing to do. And I think that magnanimity is very important to go and say, what's the right thing for your employees to do? And once that realization came, I'm still friends with all of them, so are you. And everyone has kept in touch. They're doing phenomenal work in life. And it was really that time I was frustrated. And that's the time where we said, our experience level in both those banks has to be very different. It has to be people who are really young. And a couple of more experienced people. So we changed that mix. And then came along the opportunity to go ahead and say, very quickly, start 3 other firms.
Which is the artist management,
Earth 100.
Earth 100 and
something called Haryana Prepaid.
Yeah. So 2.5 years is done. Nodwin's gone through this tough phase. You know, you've been around for a while. Cash flows are flowing, and now there's another shift that happens where you now suddenly from an entrepreneur, you're literally turning into an industrialist where you're running multiple businesses. And I think it also coincided with the time where you were kind of looking to get married, and Megha came in. So were the two related, and how was Megha's influence in this entire thing in terms of you and your mindset as an entrepreneur?
Megha was always and during this entire time she was a phenomenal support, and so she used to go ahead and say, you started off, and I think Megha and I get along very well because of one thing. When they say opposites attract, we are very similar in most things, but in our ability to execute, we are so different. I am the ideator, she's the executor. I am the person who comes up with something, sets it in the ground, makes it solid. She does not like that. She abhors that. Once it is running, she loves going and managing it. Anything which is now rolling, I'd be the guy who design an engine, build the engine, put it on the tracks, lay the railway tracks. She'd run the engine left, right and center every single day and make sure.
So the hardcore ops guys, which are the really difficult ones to find, and you were lucky enough that you married one. And then she comes in and suddenly Nodwin changes from Nodwin the company to Nodwin the group. And X number of companies.
Which is exactly why I could not grow it. So Nodwin from the company grows to the group because I was freed from operations and I could take this stage up. Where I could say, hey, you know what, we have lots more opportunities. Why are we adding more and more things here? Earth 100 was a project of Goldman Sachs. So when we did Goldman Sachs as a project, they asked us to go set up this company. And our thing was, do we give this entire ideation piece to someone else or should we do it ourselves? And they said they'll help us. So we said, great, we'll do it ourselves. And that was a very interesting inflection point where we said, hey, why can't we do more than one? Who says we can't? Management books, it says you should have a core competency and you should focus. What if the core competency is opportunity? Identifying opportunity and leveraging of it. That is a core competence. And we said, great, that's a core competence. Why does operations have to be core competence? Why does reach have to be core competence? Why does marketing have to be core competence? If someone is great in marketing, they are translatable in marketing across all verticals. They'll have to spend some time to learn, but core competence is marketing. It's not retail.
Yeah.
Right? So we kind of threw that book out of the window because we were a lateral thinking firm, and we said, let's try it out. And we set up 3 different firms, and all on the basis of marketing, saying, we were great at getting customers on board with us. So we set up Earth 100, the world's largest biofuel fleet company now. We set up artist management, which looked at a new view of managing artists for their benefit, because artists think left brain and right brain. And we set up a prepaid distributor company.
And then you went back to food, which is, I think, more, well, you've had your fingers in various pies like Last Chance and other things, but I think Copycat is the first time we've gone at it all alone. And then food came in, which we went back to the days where you were considering hotel management. And I know you're really fond of food as well.
Yeah, as you can see.
So you went back to food. But one other interesting thing happened. So the companies happened and the groups happened, and then happens Diamonds in the Rough. And Diamonds in the Rough is literally you moving into the retirement phase, where you're now saying the operations are being taken care of. I've ideated and I can continue to ideate, but I want to help other entrepreneurs, other startup guys figure out how to do this. So how did that idea come about?
We used to get called to all the colleges and all the events, the big ones being Startup Leadership, Troto, it used to be Startup Saturdays, Mobile Mondays, and we did all of that. And eventually there were so many people coming and saying, you know what, you've done this, you've now set up 4 companies, spent 5-6 years in doing this, can you just help? And most of these people were phenomenal young people who had great ideas, but were weak in 1 or 2 small things, either marketing, or finance, or term sheet, because not everyone has that experience. And my thing was, sure, let's help. And we started helping, and it was pro bono work. And Diamonds in the Rough was actually just helping out a lot of people. And one fine day we sat down and said, you know what, I am moving towards this retirement phase, and I will need some cash flows from doing it. And why make it pro bono when people are willing to go and offer equity? So what we said was, we'll make it a small in-house angel VC fund, which will go and invest in companies and take a certain amount for sweat, and which we would contribute value to. We will take a certain amount for business development, and we will take a certain amount for the equity which we put in. And it is about growing this entire venture and making it big. And we said at the onset itself, we set 3 golden rules to Diamonds in the Rough. It is about the entrepreneur, it is not about us. So we are not a person who wants to take over your company. And for that, the second we said was, the entrepreneur should make at least 2 times of what we make. So we decided we will never take more than 33% of the equity. We will never take less than 26 because we didn't want to be kicked out. So we were always between the 26 to 33% equity kind of phase. And third thing which we said was, it is about going and making this guy successful, but it is also about not losing money. So we didn't put money into, I have a paper business plan, can you come and do this? We asked people to go and show us proof of concept. Only when they had proof of concept did we agree to go.
And you invested only in young people?
Yes. That was the preamble. No one over 30.
No one over 30.
No one over 30. I would have not invested.
So, I mean, you're associated with CII and a lot of other startup things. And a lot of startup ventures come up in India, and a lot of them die as well. Where do you see the positives and the negatives and the mistakes that people are making? What's your understanding of the space today?
Young people, I don't want to sound like an old fogey, but getting rich too quick doesn't